Good morning. It is Sunday, August 21st, 2022, and I'm back in the Great Smoky Mountains. This time I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail from Newfound Gap to Davenport Gap in about 3 days, and this will conclude my hike that I need for my map of the Appalachian Trail in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So happy to be here. It is overcast and sounds like it's raining, but it's not. It's just the moisture that's in the trees from the rain earlier overnight. Supposed to have rain on and off all day today, but I'm hopeful. As you see, I do not have my pack covered. I am carrying my ULA circuit this time. I'm gonna go 10 miles, 4 of which I've already done. I've already been to Charlie's Bunyan, but I'm gonna go 10 miles to Pecks Corner Shelter, which is off the trail about a quarter mile. And for an AT through hike, that's kind of far. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop my pack and I'm gonna continue down the trail that it's on, which is called Hughes Ridge. Hughes Ridge goes, I don't know how many miles, but it actually hooks up with another trail. I'll put the name of it on the screen. But for 2.2 miles, it comes off the AT to hook up to that trail. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out that 2.2 miles and back this afternoon, so that when I come back over here and I do that, I can just do Hughes Ridge in a loop, and the rest will be done. And then tomorrow, I'm going to try Corner Knob, which is I think less than 6 miles down the AT. Drop my pack again, and there's Balsam Mountain Trail that I will also go down, but this time it's like 4.4 miles, a little bit further, but for the same benefit, so that when I come back and finish out Balsam Mountain, I can kind of do a loop. There's a lot of trails in that area that interconnect. So if I do Balsam Mountain tomorrow, or at least that section tomorrow, it's one less trail that I have to connect when I come back. And then initially I was just going to go to Cosby Knob Shelter, stay the night, which is only about 6 or 7 miles, but it's closed due to bear activity. So I'm going to go ahead and hike out. It's going to be close to a 17-mile day to Davenport, but that's because I have to pick up a 0.7 section of Snake Den Ridge, which I did not get back in December when I did it. So I don't expect it to be hard at all. In fact, most of it's going to be downhill. In that fashion, it'll be hard. But I don't typically have knee problems. I just go slower because I don't want them. All right, I'm going to get to hiking now. I don't think I'm going to stop at the Bunyan. Everything's socked in right now, and it doesn't appear to be lifting. But if I do, of course, I'll take pictures. I've made it to my first junction, which is the Sweat Heifer Trail. I've been on that before. It's a fun and easy trail. It was a pretty trail too. I bet it would be really pretty in the spring. I did it in the winter, but it was still pretty snowy and great scenery, especially once you get past Kephart Shelter and you hit all the old CCC stuff, including the camp. That's down that way. So what's up ahead is the Boulevard Trail in a mile, and then Icewater Spring Shelter is just past that area. I stopped at Subway on the way in and got a wrap and thought I will stop at Icewater Shelter for lunch. Then once I get past that, I think I've only got 6 more miles to Pecks Corner Shelter. So it's been a beautiful hike so far. I love hiking in this kind of weather. I have worked up a sweat. It's probably about 70, I don't know. It's in the upper lower 70s, so probably 72, 73, something like that. But it is very humid, obviously. But with it being overcast, the sweat was just on the uphill. The uphills are not hard here at all, but, you know, I haven't been hiking in a month. And that first 20 minutes out of the car is always a breather. So anyway, but it's very comfortable hiking weather. And I've seen a few people coming down. It looks like they were backpackers. But other than that, as soon as I hit the sign, or past the sign, the trailhead at Newfound Gap, there wasn't a soul. I'm sure it's because Charlie's bunion should be socked in. But I did notice the sun was trying to come out. So there is a possibility if I stop long enough for lunch at Icewater Spring Shelter that maybe it'll clear off and I'll get a view. So I just passed the Boulevard Trail. There were a few hikers there, so I didn't record out of privacy. And they had just come from the bunion, and they said that it was socked in for the most part, but every now and then the clouds would lift and you could see a little bit of a view. So I don't know. I'm coming up on Icewater Spring Shelter, probably about 1/10 of a mile away. I'm not hungry for lunch. I did eat a honey stinger wafer. I really like those. I think it's a good little pick me up to bridge the gap. The problem is, I guess I really wasn't that hungry because now the idea of eating isn't there for me. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go down to the bunion, and if it's lifted, I might try to have lunch down there. And I think that's probably another mile from that point. So yeah, we'll see. Like I said, the sun is trying to peek through. So maybe it'll be perfect timing. Alright guys, I made it to my next junction. It's the Dry Sluice Trail, but this side tells you where you're going on the AT. So everything's behind me except Pecks Corner Shelter, 6.2 miles. And then Dry Sluice Trail. That's how you get back down to the Kephart Shelter. I'll have to come back and do that, and I'll probably do it not via the AT because I need the entire of Dry Sluice and Grassy Branch. So I'll probably hang out at Kephart Shelter. A night or two, however long it takes me to finish up that area when I do it. So I did pass Charlie's Bunion because it was starting to rain. A couple little showers have moved through. Nothing bad at all. It all feels good. So it looks like it's trying to clear off again, but I'm going to go on, and when I feel like stopping, I will stop. I do like to, and I've mentioned in recent videos that, you know, it's probably good to stop at least every 2 to 4 miles, just to give your body a break. But I'm feeling really good. I just don't want to break right now. So I don't know if that's bad, me not listening to my own good advice and whatnot, but I will stop as soon as I feel like it. I also forgot to mention that right after Charlie's Bunion, I started new miles. Everything before that I'd already hiked, so it doesn't go towards my 900 miler spreadsheet. However, there is a super cool milestone coming up at the end of today, or at least at the end of today on the AT. So, keep watching. Well, it might not be Charlie's Bunion, but it sure is a gorgeous view. Probably about 1.5 miles from the Bunion. Oh, just beautiful. I stopped just a little bit ago for lunch. I think I still have like 5.5 miles left to the shelter. But it was the perfect spot. I have 3 more miles, and this is my view of North Carolina. I bet it's a gorgeous view. It has that very quiet sound where you know there's nothing there. Look, guys, finally a view. Oh, look at that. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. I don't know if you can see all those layers. Oh my gosh. Sorry. This is the first view I've had today. I love them. I love them. I love that I can't see all of them also. I don't know how to explain that, but it's just mystical, I guess. You can see a few of the layers off right there, and then all of those down there. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. I love my life. Such perfect timing. It starts to rain as soon as I make it to the junction of Hughes Ridge. It says Pecks Corner Shelter is 0.4. So I can see why AT hikers don't like to go down there. But I'm going down to Bradley Fork, so 2.2. So just puts me closer. And then tomorrow I will come out here to Balsam Mountain Trail. That's the AT. And this is the way down Hughes Ridge to Pecks Corner Shelter. Now for a little celebration time. This point marks pretty much exactly halfway through my map. Halfway through is around 400, a little over 400, and this puts me at, I think, 401 if I'm not mistaken. But oh my gosh, I am halfway done with my Smokies map. I started in February of 2022, and I come down here pretty much once a month. Every now and then I'll skip a month, and I have done 400 miles in a year and a half in the rain. That is just apropos. So I'm super excited. I'm just so excited. So, okay, so I'm going to try to hurry up this 0.4 so that I can not get as wet as possible. I can't tell if this is just a passing shower, if this is settling in for the night. So my 2.2 down Hughes Ridge might be interesting. So I will try to catch you back at the shelter. But there are, I think, a couple other people staying there. So if they're there, I might wait until I get back on trail. So see you soon. Okay, I am back on Hughes Ridge Trail, heading down the 2.2 section, which turns out I think about 1.8 down and then 1.8 back, given that the shelter was at 0.4. I dropped my pack. I got my sleeping pad up and my quilt lofting. I ate some food, drank a little bit of water. By the time I was ready to get on my way, it was just sprinkling like it's doing right now. Did not expect to see a dwelling right here. Not really sure what that is. I have some research to do. I don't know what that sign says. Let me try to get a little closer. Oh, sorry. I know I'm not being very steady. I don't have my stick with me. I was trying to go as light as possible. I have my fanny pack, but then I have everything else in there. It says Pecks Corner Shelter 0.3. So it must be some kind of a storage or, what have you for the Park Service. My thoughts are wild boar. It's awfully torn up, just out of the blue. I have made it to the junction of Hughes Ridge and maybe Bradley Fork. Let's see. Yeah, Bradley Fork. Okay, so I will come back at some other time, and I'll come down this trail and then go back that trail and make a loop. And then that way, now that I've got this done, I don't have to come back this way. I have about 100, 200 feet to the shelter. I can see it right here. That was a great addition to this hike. I highly recommend it. If you are planning on backpacking up in this area to get the AT or what have you, I would suggest doing it's a total 2.2 down to where Bradley Fork intersects with Hughes Ridge Trail. There was only one good size up, and it wasn't bad. So I'm very glad I did it. So I head back, get cleaned up, and get ready for bed. Thanks for watching.